What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video. I told y'all guys I was gonna be doing mods to this bike that I just bought. This TL1000. Excuse the noise in the background. It's kind of comes with the territory, I guess. But anyways, like I was saying, I will be installing a new rectifier regulator on this bike because the bike wasn't holding a charge. The battery kept dying down. Like when I rode it home after I bought it from the guy, I rode it, tried to ride it home, and eventually it died on me. So today I'm going to be installing Rectifier, and I want to show you guys which rectifier I bought, and I'll leave a link down in the description so that you guys can actually see the part that I purchased. When I bought the bike, as I said, it had two rectifiers in it, and one of the rectifiers was connected, one wasn't. And so I deemed that I kind of figured that probably the one that wasn't connected had gone out. It was bad, and so they replaced it with another one. But the one that they replaced it with wasn't even mounted inside the bike. It was just kind of like floating inside of there. It wasn't mounted, grounded. So I purchased the new part, and with the new part is, as you guys can see, is Rick's. I don't know if you can see that. Rick's Motorsport part, and the part number is on the back right here, right there, and this little box, nothing spectacular. Had a couple of instructions on the front of the box, and you see that, but the instructions on the front of the bike, on the box right there, you can see before installing this part, before installing it, you have to read these instructions. It says read before installing Rectifier regulator. But let me show you the two that I took out. Here's one right here. This was the one that was connected. I assumed it worked because the bike started, but the bike only started because the battery was fully charged, and the entire bike was only running on battery power. It was not running off of this. This was not charging the bike. The stator, I don't know if the stator is bad, but hopefully it's not. We'll have to dig a little deeper into that. And here's the second one right here. You can see the second one. This is the one that was grounded into the bike underneath the underneath the seat. Underneath the seat. But like I say, that one was mounted to the bike, but it wasn't connected. The other one with the longer wires, the longer connected wires, was connected, but it was just floating around, just jumping around off inside of the seat right here. And so I bought this new one, as I say, this from Rick's Motorsport off of Amazon. Rick's Motorsport off of Amazon. I just received this part. See that? Rick's Motorsport. And I didn't know if I could trust that particular seller because there was only one review. It was a good review. It was an okay review. You know, the guy gave me 5 stars. He said that this part, he said he's bought other things from Rick's Motorsport in the review, but that this particular part that he bought, it looked generic, but I guess the part did its job, so he didn't give it a bad review. So, like I said, I'll leave the link to that in the description, and let's get to it, man. I'll be back with you guys in a second. Welcome back. We have installed the rectifier, the regulator, back inside the bike, and now the bike charges as it should. I have to bolt this down now that I got it in there, but while I had everything out, I was running checks, doing checks on everything, making sure everything was all the wire connectors were connected, not corroded or rusted or broken, and so while I was checking, I did notice that the fan still did not cut on by itself. So, and I did a diagnostic test. I mean, I put it on the multimeter, ran all the wires, the test on all the wires to see what the cause was, and the fans have not turned on by themselves. The temperature gets up to like about 230-ish, and the fans still don't kick on, and they should, but at that time they should kick on. So yeah, I got all the fairings cleaned up over here. As I was saying, she does fire up. She fired right up as soon as I put that rectifier back on there, the new one that I got. She started right up. I let her get up to idling operating temperature, and I cut it off, turned it back on, and she fired right back up. So I'm gonna let y'all know, man, this bike is it's in the best shape that it can be in, you know, given that it's a 1998. It's in the best shape that it can be in. I mean, obviously it's such an old bike. I would have expected more to be wrong with it, other than just the intermittent issues of the rectifier being replaced. What else? And the battery. That's about it. I put a huge, gigantic battery off in there, so y'all can see that. Put a huge battery in there. Right there. Big battery. But y'all can see she's cleaning up very, very good. I mean, I cleaned her up, washed her up, gave her a bath finally. And as I said, I'm still having to try to figure out why the fan isn't cutting on when it's supposed to. I know ChatGPT told me to check the temp sensor on there, which is right here. It's located right here. That's the temp sensor right there. You see right here, I have it bypassed so that as soon as I turn the bike on, the fans come on, because I don't want it to overheat and possibly crack a head or something. So can't afford that, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna get these fairings and stuff put back on here, man, and give her a start up and let you guys hear it. And I'm gonna take her for a ride. My GoPro camera, the battery is low, so I can't ride with my camera. So, but nonetheless, we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to go ahead and finish putting on the fairing, get all the fairings back on there, all the bolts, everything else looks pretty good. Like I said, the bike's charging now. That's a plus, because it was not charging. It was, I had the battery, I just got that battery, and with the old rectifier, I would start it up and the battery would just continuously drop. The voltage would continuously drop. So, but now it gets to like 13 point, and it should be like 14. I think the ChatGPT said it should be like 14. You know, I guess that's, but when I rev it, at first I was thinking it was the stator was going bad, but the stator's not going bad, because when I rev it, when I get it up to like 500 or 5,000 RPM, the battery, the voltage goes up, as I had my multimeter on it, connected to it the whole entire time. So I noticed that when I mean, like opening and going through this bike thoroughly, I mean, I noticed that the kickstand kill switch disconnected. They cut the wires on that. I guess they got tired of feeling, they couldn't figure out what was going on with it. Probably not the owner that I bought it from, but probably previous owners, you know, the previous owner. And I noticed like there was some oil splashed. Let me show you. There was like some oil like splatter along, like it's still in the wheels a little bit, you know,
It's a little bit. I cleaned a lot of it out though, but there was a lot of oil splatter in there. None leaking from the bottom. I mean, not unless it's coming from like a gasket or something under there, which I believe it is. It's not coming from the filter. Oil filter's not leaking. Oil filter's right there. You can see it back there behind that exhaust. But the exhaust is clean. There's no oil leaking down on that. So we're good on that part. But I wish I mean, I'll have to look and see how much the part is for that radiator, that temp sensor over there, so that hopefully that solves the problem. I cross my fingers, hoping that that's gonna solve the problem. Because outside of that, man, the bike is in good shape. Oh, and also another thing, I don't know if it has to do with the power commander that's on it or what it is, but after a certain temperature, the bike starts to die. I asked ChatGPT, what's going on? Why does it do that? Why does it do that once it gets to a certain temperature? The bike gets to a certain operating temperature, and then it slowly, shuts off. I mean, it'll start back up, but like, so ChatGPT saying something about some type of sensor up here near the throttle body. So I'll have to probably look into that. I don't know if it needs adjusting or if it just needs replacing. Sometimes ChatGPT says you can clean it, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look more into it. Me, I would rather just replace the part and be done with it. That way I know it's a brand new piece on there, a brand new part on the bike, and it's like a process of elimination. You eliminate this, one thing at a time. Like I said, the battery was a LiPo battery that was on here. I traded it out. It was small for this gigantic lead acid battery, and it's firing the bike up even when the regulator wasn't any good. But now the regulator is good, and I put my multimeter on all these things. Like when I put that in there, before I even put that in there, I did all my tests on my batteries. I checked all my connectors up here on my harness right here, my wiring harness. Checked all these, made sure I found wires in there that were burnt. I found wires in there that were corroded. So it's not bad. It wasn't bad. It could have been worse, like I said, this is an old bike, from 1998, but it could have been worse. But yeah, I'm gonna keep cleaning it, and because it's still got a lot of gunk on the engine. I will probably have to remove the gas tank, which I've done the other day, trying to figure out what's going on with that throttle body, why the idle kept dropping so low to where it was shut off. And I just took the gas tank off, looked around, and put it back on. Didn't do too much, I didn't want to mess with too much or nothing, because I want to be certain that I know what I'm doing before I get up under there and start messing with it. But so yeah, outside of that, man, this bike is, and eventually I will get this rotary damper for the rear suspension. I will get that replaced. I will replace that myself. I'm still looking to see what I gotta go within my budget, you know what I'm saying? Because if I go outside and I go crazy, my wife might go crazy. So she might have something to say about it. She ain't gonna go crazy, but she might have something to say about it. But yeah, I just gonna finish putting these fairings on, guys. And like I said, man, y'all stay tuned. I'll be, once I get these fairings on, I'm not gonna video that. It takes a little bit of time, but once I get these fairings back on, I'll give you guys a start up and let you hear it, and before I take off on this ride, because I'm gonna go and test it and ride it, a little bit, give it a little ride. But you guys, y'all stay tuned, man. Like I said, just hold on. I'm gonna put these fairings on, let y'all get a good look at it now that it's all cleaned up, with the fairings all clean, everything washed up. So be back in a sec. So we out for a ride, y'all. I will see y'all when I get back. more content like this. We finished it, y'all. I'll let y'all know how it turned out if I need to do something else to it. But y'all stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe to the video. Peace. Two Wheel Love. I'm out.